Hyundai's journey is a peculiar one. Its roots grew from a car repair shop in the Seodamun district of Seoul, South Korea. The company was founded in 1946 by the North Korean runaway young farmer Chung Ju-young. At that time, most cars were running in Korea under Japanese occupation. Chung was quick to act and win maintenance contracts of these cars. In the process, the Japanese military forced him to merge with a steel company, which turned into an opportunity, winning several contracts. It went on to become a Cherbal, a large family owned business conglomerate in Korea, and therefore was responsible for building much of the country's transportation infrastructure. In 1968, Hyundai decided to transform its car repair shop status and tied up with Ford in an agreement for assembling semi knockdown automobiles, which increased the know how. However, in 1974, they decided to develop their first car, the Pony. This was possible by hiring George Turnbull, former managing director of Austin Morris at British Leyland, in February 1974. Turnbull hired five British engineers who also made use of Hyundai's collaboration with Mitsubishi to make the Pony possible. The Pony was presented at the Turin Motor Show in October 1974 and introduced to the world in 1975. In 1986, in collaboration with Mitsubishi Motors, they made their first car for the United States, the XL. Today, Hyundai is the fifth most valuable brand according to Interbrand's 2020 global ranking, and the third largest automobile manufacturer with a production of 7.2 plus million units as of April 2021. However, this journey to the top 10 would not be possible if the company did not push with its strategic plan called the Global Top 10 way back in 1993. Hyundai's philosophy of resilience and progressive spirit has made it one of the auto industry's leaders. As an example, in 1991, after Mitsubishi's withdrawal, the automaker was pushed to achieve another milestone. It developed its first proprietary gasoline engine, the four-cylinder Alpha, as well as its own transmission. This paved the way for technological independence. The Alpha engine debuted in the 1992 Hyundai Scoop. From the millennium onwards, Hyundai went on to develop unique designs and started offering feature-packed vehicles at affordable prices that rivaled higher segment cars. This did create an image of a generic brand offering the medicine of the name brand cars. Hyundai further established a better image by acquiring Kia Motors to keep it afloat, and with the unique design language of the 2009 Sonata and Elantra, eventually it went on to create its luxury brand, Genesis. This took it shoulder to shoulder with the likes of Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, and Audi. In the 1990s, Hyundai entered the world of rallying, and down the line in 2015, it used that knowledge to devise a performance division called the N. Hyundai is now perceived as a more diverse brand due to its strong focus in hydrogen fuel cells, electric mobility, and many modern technologies like autonomous vehicles and advanced domestic air mobility. Hyundai Motors is owned by the Hyundai Motor Group. Although the conglomerate split, it still has a good relationship with the shipping, steel, and infrastructure industries, which are operated by other sons of Chung Jo-young. Hyundai enjoys a competitive advantage over its rivals in steels and logistics for its automobiles. The group has retained the board by the direct heirs of Chung Jo-young, with the introduction of some game-changing leaders. However, Kia is operated with some sharing the board with Hyundai and some completely independent directors, engineers, and designers. The company shares platforms with Hyundai and in some cases jointly develops several other platforms, for example, the EGMP platform that does duty on the latest electric vehicles, Hyundai Ioniq 5 and Kia EV6. The executive chairman for the Hyundai Motor Group is Yoo-sun Chung, who is also the president of Kia Motors. He is the only son and heir apparent of the company's honorary chairman, Mong Koo-chung. Mong Koo-chung was one of the 8 sons of Chung Jo-young, who took over the Hyundai Motor Division after the conglomerate split into several parts in 1999. In the recent years, Hyundai's design language has changed dramatically. This was possible because of the joining of a few trailblazers of automotive design. Luke Donker-Volk is Chief Design Officer of Hyundai and in charge for the present and future designs for the Genesis and Ioniq brands. Formerly, he was the Volkswagen Group as chief designer for Lamborghini, Seat, and Bentley. Another feather in Hyundai's cap is Albert Biermann, President Director of the R&D division. Biermann is a name that German performance car fans might already recognize from his time at the helm of BMW's M division golden era. It produced icons like the E46 M3 and E39 M5. However, after he joined Hyundai in 2015, he had a chance to develop a performance brand from a clean sheet, and he very passionately came up with the N Performance division. Biermann has great plans for the future for the N line, as he says this is just the beginning and has a new 8-speed dual-clutch transmission and project cars planned for the future, although he regrets not starting this 20 years earlier, looking at the positive response for the N brand. The annual global sales for Hyundai ending financial year 2020 saw a decline by 15.4% to 3.74 million vehicles as compared to 2019. This generated an income of $24.45 billion, while sales in Korea increased by 6.2% to 787,000 plus cars. This is due to the popularity of SUVs and eco-friendly lineups. Hyundai aims to sell 4.16 million units globally in 2021 and has planned to solidify its global position with eco-friendly mobility and the launch of the Ioniq 5, its first dedicated all-electric car. Hyundai's strength has always been persistence in responding to market conditions and strong R&D. The automaker got into early development of eco-friendly technologies like hydrogen fuel cells with the iX35 SUV in 2013 and electric vehicles with the Blue On in 2010. This very well relates to its tagline, New Thinking, New Possibilities. Another strength of Hyundai is global presence, which helps it mitigate economic risks and have competitive advantage on new entrants like Tesla. For example, Hyundai's dedicated all-electric Ioniq 5 has the tendency to penetrate markets that Tesla is absent in. However, Hyundai has not been able to create an image like Toyota, Volkswagen and Honda. It may be because it has just begun improving its designs and reliability, and also because in most markets in comparison to its competition, it's a late entrant. Hyundai directly competes with leading automakers like Ford, Honda, Toyota, Suzuki and Volkswagen. It competes from hatchbacks to SUVs. For example, the i20 hatchback directly competes with Toyota Yaris and the Volkswagen Golf. Even as far as performance models are concerned, it has the N line. Recently, it has established competition with Lexus, Audi, BMW, Mercedes-Benz and EV manufacturers like Tesla. This is because of the improvements it has made to the Genesis brand and introduced the Ioniq brand for EVs and hybrids. As an example, the Genesis G80 competes with the likes of the Audi A6, BMW 5 Series and the Mercedes-Benz E-Class. However, the Ioniq 5 will compete with the soon-to-be launched Tesla Model Y. The decline in sales of 2020 was solely due to the COVID-19 pandemic and therefore sluggish economic activities denting the demand for automobiles in most regions. In addition, the chip shortage caused Hyundai major disruptions globally, tumbling sales by 9.9% to 899,000 vehicles in the quarter from July to September 2021 as compared to 2020. Recently, a whistleblower in the USA had to be paid $24 million in the case of engine recalls. Apart from this, Hyundai has positively been in the news with its investments in innovations, where it bought 80% of robot firm Boston Dynamics for $1.1 billion and formed a 50-50 joint venture with Aptiv for autonomous vehicle technologies worth $4 billion. Hyundai also announced its dedicated all-electric Concept 7 and MUV as a living room on wheels, which proves the automaker goes way beyond in its R&D. Hyundai's future looks intact as it has made considerable efforts in developing technologies much before they become mainstream. Recently, Hyundai announced its vision to popularize hydrogen energy by 2040 and launched its first flying passenger vehicle in 2028, contributing to advanced air mobility. The all-electric Ioniq 5 won as German Car of the Year, which gives it a strong image in the electric vehicle industry. Hyundai will only grow strength to strength from here on as it has potentially tapped into new car segments. Its willingness to experiment and progress with technologies like hydrogen and electric mobility shows that the automaker is always future ready. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this presentation on Hyundai.